I can't believe it's been 3 whole months since I last posted here, or since I last made a video. I don't know where the time went. The last time I was here, I was talking about family planning and how I got pregnant after that. I can't still believe we're in the month of June. And guess what? Of course, my baby is here. Yes, I had her on the 21st of April, which happened to be my birthday. And yes, it was planned. Yes, it was planned. Right from conception, I tried as much as possible to get a baby either on my birthday, or on failing that, I'll do it on my husband's birthday. But luckily for me, this was my time. So from now on, double celebration. Any day she's having her birthday, of course, I'm also having mine. Yes, she came in under 3.8 kg, and her name is Aquarica Christine Izadleje. Yes, Aquarica means plenty of wealth, or a child born into plenty of wealth. Of course, it's a prayer. As an Igbo woman, we name our children meaningfully. Not that others do not, but for us, it's very ponderous. You think about the child, you think about the circumstances, you think about the future, what you want for that child. So we name our children in that direction. And for her, I think this is the baby that was born when we are, at least not just financially, we're just better off. Other kids came at different auspicious times, but for this one, the Bible says better is the end of a matter than the beginning. So this is the beginning, this is the end. Reze was the last born. This is actually the final born. So of course, she came at a time where we're experiencing an overabundance of God's goodness, and we are hoping that this will be the story her life will tell. And her English name is Christine. Christine means Christ-like. Of course, as Christians, being Christ-like is the best thing that can happen to you as a human being, and that is also our prayer and our wish for her. And of course, as we go on, I'll show you pictures and videos, and I'm sure she would appear on this channel. Very soon, you guys will rename my channel Aquarica's channel, not just Veronica's daughter's channel. Yes, the birth wasn't, it wasn't anything strange. Of course, you guys know I'm a CS mom. I've had 3 previous cesarean sections, and this was the 4th one. And truly, in all honesty, it was the easiest. It's not supposed to be so. It's supposed to get I think it gets harder the more you do it. But for my own, somehow it gets easier. It got easier. The operation took about maybe 20 minutes, and I was wide awake. I was conversing with my doctors, with music and everything. And when she came out, the glorious sound ever. She can cry, she can scream. Maybe one day I'll show you a video of when she came out and how she was screaming the whole place down. And since then, of course, I've been in Omugo. You know what we call Omugo? As an Igbo person, every Igbo person knows that. Omugo is the period, it's usually like 3 months, when the baby has his or her vaccines, and the mother of the baby is well taken care of by her own mother, or if her mother is not available, by maybe her husband's mother or her relative. So that period is a time for pampering and trying to recover your postpartum mojo. You try to recover, because whether we like it or not, we lose a lot during pregnancy and birth and while breastfeeding. It's a time for recovery. You're not expected to do a lot of chores. You're not expected to do a lot of cooking. You're not expected to do much. Just recover, breastfeed the baby, and just try to get slowly healed. Of course, not everybody has it that good. Some people do not have mothers. Some have mothers who are bound by ill health, while some, even despite having mothers, they still have to do 1 or 2 things. For me, it's been a life of cruise, a life of ease. My mother has been here for the past almost 6 weeks. She came in barely 2 weeks, not up to 2 weeks after I gave birth. And since then, I've not had to light the fire. I've not had to fetch water to do anything. She asked me, she come and ask me, what will you eat in the morning? What will you eat in the afternoon? What will you eat in the night? She bathes the baby. Yes, I have not had a chance to bathe her, thank God. She bathes the baby, she feeds the baby. She sleeps with the baby at night. Yes, all I need to do is express milk and make sure she has food. And of course, she even serves my husband, serves the kids. She has just been a general work body. Yes, thank God she's healthy enough for that. I don't know if she were ill, I don't know what I would have done. Maybe I wouldn't have had a baby. And truly, the Omugo thing was one of the things I was looking forward to. Yeah, so it's been an amazing time. And like all good things, it's gradually rolling to an end. Yes, my father seems to need his wife back. Yes, my father has been calling. He wants his wife back. His wife has also been agitating. She wants to go home to her husband, and I don't have a choice. I wish I did, but I don't. So I decided, just before she goes, to invite her on my channel. We're going to ask her lots of questions. We're going to ask her, of course, I'm also going to do live on Facebook, live on Instagram. You know, let's just have a nice time, a scary time, gisting with her. I'll ask her some questions. Some can be difficult. And my mother is very shy, but you know, we've grown to a certain level where we can converse about things in general, and I'm hoping this video would work out. I took her by surprise. I ambushed her. I just told her this morning so she wouldn't overthink. You know, the way I do my things, some people might think it's abnormal. Some people might think, oh, Ella, you're too playful. But guys, I'm the chairman, chief executive officer of I Can't Keep Myself group of companies. Anything I cannot control, I try as much as possible to roll with it. It's out of my control. I try to work to change the things I can't change, but the things that are out of my control, I roll with it. I take it as it comes. The same thing with this birthing process. I'm a Cesarean section mom, my choice. Of course, the first one was an emergency Cesarean section, but after that I decided this was the way I was going to go. People always ask me, Ella, were you afraid? See, even if I am afraid, it doesn't change the outcome. If I am not afraid, it still doesn't change the outcome. What can I change? I can only change my reactions to it. The surgery is coming. We both know that. We all know that. From the moment of conception, I realized that once again, I'm going to be on the operating table. So, until you know, I just I just put a sound mind to it. I've made my prayers. I am right. So I decided just go in there with happiness, which I did. On the day of the surgery, which was coincidentally my birthday, of course, I was home here, and some of my friends came around. Nobody knew I was going to surgery. Nobody knew, apart from my family, not friends. No friend knew. It was my parents didn't know, my husband's parents or brothers, my siblings didn't know. I don't like telling. No, not because they are witches and wizards, not because they can control the outcome, but because one, I love surprises. I love surprising people. I can be with you here and we will gist and laugh, and the moment you leave, I go do my thing. I call you back and say, hey, I don't born. You're like, you that I just left. I have born. It doesn't mean I'm afraid I'm going to do anything, but I just like to surprise you. That's one. Number two, I hate people being worried about me. I hate it. I hate having people call me and say, hello Ella, how far now? Have you guys done the surgery? Was it successful? How are you feeling? I don't like that. So I like taking the stress off people. Like my mother will always ask me, why won't you tell me? So that I will start praying. I said, you've already prayed. I want to call you with the good news. I don't want to tell you I am going to. Then you start worrying, and before you know it, from the worrying, you're another person. Your pressure becomes high, or you call and I don't answer. You start imagining the worst. I hate that. So whenever I'm going to the operating table, I just chill, pack my bags, go do my thing. When I am out, baby is out, we call and rejoice. So this time around, my friends came, they brought lots of food. And for a surgery that is not an emergency, you know that you need to stop eating. Like my surgery was booked for like 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. The doctor said, Ella, stop eating around 11. From 11 a.m., you cannot eat anything solid. Of course, you can take drinks, you can drink water, juices, but you can't eat food. So when I woke up that morning, I decided I was going to stuff my face with food. I'm going to eat till I drop. So, you know, when I woke up, I saw my cake. Of course, they cooked lots of white rice and stew, which we all knew was my go-to food throughout the pregnancy. When I came out and I got one plate of food, brothers and sisters in the Lord, that one plate of food was the only thing I ate for the next 3 days. When I was eating it, I was like, let me hurry up and eat so that you can digest. I'll eat another one before I go for the surgery later in the evening. That was the only thing I ate. My stomach was full. And then the temptation to eat more started coming. People were bringing me crabs and snails, white rice and stew, food trays, fruit. In fact, I almost said, if I eat, what will even happen? Let me even eat. Higher, they'll push the surgery to tomorrow. If she's not my birthday meat. Then I remembered all the months of planning that went into her conception. Then because of food that I will still see afterwards, I will now decide not to. I said, no, get thee behind me, Satan. She must be my birthday mate. That's how I endured. And we're home having fun, dancing. And you know, I had this feeling that it was like a momentous occasion, a momentous day. Why? This will be the very last time I will be pregnant. The very last time I would feel a... My mother is off camera shouting by his grace. Mommy, I tied my tubes. Stop saying by his grace. Stop saying by his grace. You're not coming for Mugo here again. Please don't mind my mother. She's there saying by his grace. So, oh, that was she said by his grace. Mommy, the tubes are tied. That ship has sailed. So, I felt this. I had this feeling of, let me enjoy it to the fullest for the very last time. I would never be pregnant again. I would never feel a baby move in my stomach or in my womb again. Come, womb and stomach, are they the same? They're not the same. Womb is different from stomach. Stomach is where the food goes. Womb is where the baby goes. So I would never feel a baby move in this region. Never again. That kick, that feeling of, oh, this baby nausea from stay well. I would never feel it again. Never will someone open the door for me because I'm pregnant. I was missing all those things already. Nobody will see me in the bank and like, madam, come and stay here, you're pregnant. Nobody. I cannot walk majestically across the road again, a busy road, and have cars stop on both sides and wait for me. Like the Queen Bathsheba, Queen of Sheba is passing. Never again. So my husband kept pushing me, go and sleep, go and rest. I'm like, I'll rest when I'm done. You know, that day, there was no rest. I was just catching phone. I sat down in the kitchen all through. People were coming in and out, calls. In my mind, I was like, if only these guys knew what I'm planning to do after today. My husband knew, and he said, you're supposed to go and rest. You're going for surgery, and you're just jumping up and down. I'm like, that's what we do, baby. So around 4 p.m., I took my bag, said goodbye to my kids. You know, let's talk about that. When you're saying goodbye to your kids, the devil starts whispering into your ear. You start feeling like, what if I don't make it back? In fact, maybe that was the first time it occurred to me. Because I was so confident. I've been there 3 times. What is number 4? I was so confident nothing is going to happen. I've prayed. God has my back. I'm using a really good hospital. The doctor is great. And Cesarean sections are run of the mill these days. We do them every day. So, but you know, at that point of saying goodbye, as a human, you pause and you're like, what if I don't see these kids again? As in, I die. What if I go under the table and I die? One might say, come on, shut up, you're not dying anything. I'm like, it's a possibility. But I looked at them extra carefully. I'm like, oh wow, this is going to be a fine boy when he grows. This Ola. So with fashionista, they have to hold this one very well. Reze, boy, Daddy, how are you? He said, I'm fine, thank you. I was like, oh wow, I was just thinking, I better come back with these children. I cannot just leave the children and go. Of course, I didn't voice any of these things out. I was just thinking them in my head. I'm like, hey, if I die now, will this man remarry? So if he remarry now, would they take care of my children? Then one might say, come on, shut up. You're just talking rubbish. I'm like, yeah, I'm just thinking rubbish. I'm coming back here. As I was going up, I started praying extra hard because a little extra prayer never hurt anyone. So I just took my things and I took my sister who was going to accompany me to the hospital. We got to my shop first. Let me pick up something. On getting to the shop, a customer came and was like, Madam, I've been waiting for you. I said, if you don't sell to me, I will not buy. I'm like, why won't you buy? I'm here. I just dropped my bag, entered selling mode. Somebody that is due at the hospital. I sold to the woman. She didn't know where I was going to. I was like, Madam, I get an appointment. Give her a go. Just, I sold and she bought and left. I carried my bag, my hospital bag that was in the shop, put it in my car. The doctor was already calling me, Ella, you're not serious. You're supposed to have been here 2 hours. I said, doctor, calm down. I'm coming. I got to the hospital and of course they gave me a bed. I stripped and wore their hospital gown. Now that you're in the hospital, you have this feeling of very soon these people will come and cut you open. I'm like, no. But they now inserted the catheter, and of course, as usual, my veins are difficult to find. But it didn't take them time this time. They just found it, which I saw as a very good omen. So they inserted the cannula, the catheter, and I had to rest for a bit. The doctors arranged their theater, and I walked into the theater by myself. I walked in and lay on the bed. So, we're just gisting and laughing. And the doctors were like, Madam, I really like your spirit though. Some people, they enter here as if they're already dead. As I'm like, no, I know the outcome of this surgery even before I entered. So just let's be going, please. Hurry up, let's meet this girl quick. So the doctor didn't know I snuck my phone into the theater. I snuck my phone in. So they had already given me the epidural at the back, and I was lying down, and I started operating. My phone rang. Of course, it was in vibration. It vibrated. And I checked it. Okay, this woman I saw buying blender. Hello, madam. That was like, what are you doing? Who gave her a phone? I'm like, doctor, calm down. Hello, doctor, wait. Hello, madam. Yes. Has it been delivered? Has the blender been delivered? Like, yes, okay now. I'll call you back later. You get what I hold for hand. I'll call you back. They were like, madam. I said, doctor, calm down. She, you're hustling your own, I'm hustling my own. Doctor was like, she was looking at the other doctors. What kind of patient is this? I was like, doctor, calm more down, Pico. I now gave one of them the phone, a nurse, to take a video, to snap me, and of course, record the proceedings. Now, this is one of the biggest reasons why I didn't use UPTH. Let me be honest with you. Government hospitals, and there are plenty of rules and regulations. 1, you would never sneak a phone in. 2, they would never take a video or a picture. 3, unless your surgery date falls on your birthday, there is no way they would allow you book your surgery date, because they have days. They have Monday doctors, Tuesday to Friday, and each of those groups have their surgery days. If your surgery is not an emergency, you must be operated on the day that your group is operating. Apart from that, they won't fit you in because it's your birthday. They don't care about that. So those were one of the fine, small, silly, trivial reasons. It might be silly and trivial to you, but for me, it was quite important. I wanted to have a video of my surgery. I wanted to see what my intestines looked like. I wanted to see where they were cutting me, so that if my husband annoys me, I'll show him and say, see, Ifria, you see what they did to me because of you. So when I showed him, he was just looking at me like, this girl doesn't have sense. And I had a video of when the baby came out and she was just screaming. I have something. At least out of 4, I have 1. I wanted to have at least 1. It might be a silly reason to you, but for me, it was important. So, you know, we were talking and laughing. The atmosphere was really very chill. I think your attitude matters a whole lot. It matters because it gives you peace. And when you are not worrying yourself about the outcome of something you cannot control, your pressure stabilizes, doesn't it? Imagine if your pressure shoots up because you are afraid and you are scared. That surgery, that's the recipe for disaster. So your attitude matters. A positive attitude helps the doctors. You know, they are not flustered. They are not trying to calm you down. They are focused. And I always say this to other women who are scared of cesarean section, especially women who have no choice. I had a choice, truly. No, from the second one I had a choice. After the second, I didn't have a choice. It was cesarean all the way. But I could have done a VBAC, that's a vaginal birth after cesarean, after I had my first one, but I refused. Now, a cesarean section in a lot of ways is safer than a vaginal birth, and I'll tell you why. A vaginal birth, so many things can go wrong at any point in time. And you might be having your baby at the maternity. You might be having your baby by a traditional birth attendant or a doula. You can be using a health center. These people are expecting things to run according to plan. Well, like we all know, there are times when things never run according to plan. So they plan as much as possible. But when you come for a cesarean section, they are ready for every and any emergency. There's standby blood, there's oxygen. They are ready to storm any bleeding. They are ready for you to go into shock. They are ready for anything you want to exhibit. You are in the theater. Everything is ready. There are no surprises. If any surprise should come up, they are equipped and prepared to handle it. This is the biggest difference. So that's basically my birth story and experience. And I share these stories not because I don't like to keep my life private, but simply because it's an encouragement to someone out there. You know, since then I've gotten DMs, I've gotten messages from other women who are either pregnant or planning the pregnancy. Even some single ones who have been so afraid. When they hear cesarean section, they think it's a death sentence. When they hear CS, they think, oh, that means I am not woman enough. See, for you to go through a cesarean section means you're a warrior woman, because the process is not easy. The process is painful. Of course, the pain can be controlled with the correct cocktail of painkillers, but it's not easy. The first time you pee without the catheter, the first time you poo, don't get me started. Let's not even talk about the cut. The fact that your surgery site is so painful, you feel as though someone is lighting a fire under you. Let's not talk about the breastfeeding. You know, the fact that you're suffering from pain from your lower extremities, your lower abdomen, then your uterus is trying to contract while you're breastfeeding, then the baby is sucking on your nipple instead of latching properly on the areola. Let me hear someone say, oh, you're not strong, that make you use CS born. That's a lie the devil has been selling. And if you're buying, you're the cause of your problem. Please, if you like this video, even if you think it's a nuisance, please help me share, like, comment, and of course, most importantly, subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch my upcoming videos. I'm going to be sharing a lot of content on pregnancy, childbirth, breastfeeding, and breaking lots of tables and cooking jollof with them. I'm also going to be, demystifying some myths and misconceptions about pregnancy, breastfeeding, and the whole works. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time.